Do you think there's a way to actually boost the audio output for Discord on your OBS? Do you think okay, there you go. To actually boost the audio output for Discord? Awesome. I will be right back, but when I'm back, I will happily answer questions and interact with you guys. All right, I'm back. Design's going along very well. Like very excited to see how it turns out. Hello and welcome, Quirt. It's good to see you here. Experimenting a little bit with the Q&A. Yeah, we want our Mud Titan to appear ancient and very wise. I wonder if we can experiment a little bit with having larger eyes, but I imagine these eyes would be quite large considering its size. Ah, I see. I can definitely see the inspiration. Wow. That movie came out in 1982. I have not seen that movie. Welcome, Doe, and welcome, Dodo Boy. I feel like when we get to modeling this character, it's going to be very interesting. Welcome, T-Bite. Rover asks, do you have a favorite Titan? I'm personally loving the Sanctuary Titan based off what you've shared so far. Um, that's a good question. I would have to take a moment to think on that. However, I'm very much of a fan of the Mud Titan so far. Outside of that, the Sanctuary Titan might be a close favorite, but I'd have to see how the concepts come together before I'm super sure about it. Quirt Cub asks, will there be in-game something like a test map, small map without trees, I assume grass and anything else? We do have some maps that are like that, so we'd probably offer something like a deathmatch type of map for people to play around on if they so choose, and also a museum map if people want to check out our original assets, which I feel like is very new in this genre, and people deserve to have that option, especially if they don't have like a custom server to do that themselves. So you'd be able to get up close with our models and see all the details and such that you would usually not be able to see so easily while playing the game. T-Bite asks, are you satisfied with the progress so far, both in terms of the game and financially? Um, I mean, if I wasn't satisfied, I mean, that's a little of an iffy question. I feel like I am mostly satisfied because if I was satisfied, then I probably wouldn't push to keep things moving along so much. But I can't say that things are doing like poorly right now. So I feel like there's always something to strive for. But I'm happy with what we have, and I'm happy with what we have going so far. I hope that answers your question. Of course, I'm happy to answer all of your questions. What do you guys think of the design so far? Would you like to see anything different? T by S, did you have to complete a degree for what you do? Or did you teach yourself over the years? I pretty much taught myself over the years. When I first started, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of um, playing with a bunch of different things. And over the years, I just got more familiar. And, I met a bunch of people that I'm glad I have had the opportunity to meet. And, you get better at things and you become more familiar. And eventually you just get to a point where you know how to create a game much better. Because I'd say like a few years ago, even though I wanted to create a game, I definitely wasn't in the position to know how to exactly approach that properly. But now I believe we're in a very solid position to do so. And that's what we're working towards. And we're going to be really showing a lot over the next, few months for the rest of the year, pretty much. And also, I feel like next year, 2026, will be a big year for us. The main reason I got into game development was pretty much I was very passionate about this genre, which is the creature survival genre, the multiplayer one at least. And I seen that it was pretty lacking in my opinion. And I just took the opportunity there to, create my own game with some amazing team members because without them, I wouldn't have been able to get this far. And I'm hoping to provide something that satisfies much of the community. I'm always going to be striving to provide the best possible game in the genre because I feel like I'm very aware of the flaws that are present. Yeah, game development is definitely very hard. There's many times where it's super stressful and you may feel like you want to quit sometimes, but that's why you have to have strong like dedication, commitment, and passion for what you're doing. Because I don't know if you've heard before, but it's often said that you have to make sure that you love what you're doing if you're going to make a job out of it, especially like long term. And that's pretty much the only reason that we continue to move forward is because we don't give up, and I refuse to give up. I want to make sure I get this done, um, within my lifespan, even if that may take a long time, but I'm going to make sure it can be done as quick as possible while maintaining quality. Because there are so many things to explore, and we're just getting started. Like, this is the very beginning. Welcome back, K2. I've just been answering some questions. If you have any questions of something specific, though, feel free to ask. I don't know if I can really provide a recap because I'll be honest, my memory is not the best. I'm not the greatest at providing recaps after answering a few questions already. But we're just kind of talking about, I believe, the experience in game development and the design of our Mud Titan. Oh, it's you lurking. What's up, dude? Welcome back. It's just the lurking dude. Will the game also have a German translation in the future? Ideally, we want to make sure that we offer translation for pretty much the most common languages out there, and that may include German. We don't know how difficult it'll be to provide those translations, but it is something that we'll strive for once our game is further fleshed out. I have to say that Ember's doing a fantastic job with the detailing so far, though. I am incredibly impressed by the speed at which she's able to create this detail. Ember is the one working on the Mud Titan right now. I wish I had the skill that Ember has, but I don't draw very much anymore. Iridescent skins are planned to be a shader, yes, that you can apply to your skin. An art book would be a really cool idea, maybe eventually. There are definitely a lot of things we can do for all sorts of different ways we can present our content. And an art book is, a really good way, but we're not quite at that stage to properly consider it. Yeah, Dead Sound is amazing. I'm glad to see creators like that thriving in this community. The post in our Discord mentions it, but we're focused on just providing some generic biomes for the beginning, which would be a forest, the grasslands, and um, what else? Just providing some, water sources like rivers, uh, lakes, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy at the beginning, but as time goes on, we'll flesh out the biomes and add more diversity. Yeah, pretty much. Just like a Isle Spiro map. How customizable will the skins be on the creatures? We planned for them to be quite customizable, but, well, more like, for example, I believe our limit for skin layers is about 15, so you'll have like plenty of options to, customize different parts of your skin, like your pattern, and maybe like a separate pattern that's also on your skin, and all that fun stuff. So think of like Beast of Bermuda, but maybe like a little bit more optimized. And there will be some limits, as we're going to be putting like limits on saturation and brightness depending on the type of hue you select. But I imagine you will be able to create a camo Torvosaurus if you wish to do that. I honestly feel like there will be certain skins um, that may allow, a pink color to be chosen, but we don't want you to go too crazy with all sorts of bright colors, but that's something we're gonna have to play with, obviously, because pink does appear in nature, although rare, and pink and blue could look pretty good. Arcane skins wouldn't really be much of a debuff, as we planned for an option where you can turn off the glow for your skin if you wish to do that. Exactly. You're using the arcane glow like a Morse code over long distances. I mean, I don't know if that'd even be possible. It could if you have the pulsing option, but who knows? The Mud Titan reminds me a little bit of Master Uguay. I must have missed that. Sounds like an accurate description, though. There's a picture of him wearing a wizard hat. I don't remember seeing that. I must have missed it. Will it be possible to see rare colored AI? Oh, there's the wizard. That's great. That's perfect. But yeah, will there be rare colored AI? We want to offer some AI that spawns rarely and is a specific color, like I don't know, maybe it's like golden or maybe it's like blue or something like that. And if you manage to catch it, then you get an achievement. But that's for the future. The wizard hat makes the stream very whimsical. A wizard hat Easter egg would be pretty neat. Honestly, wouldn't mind it. Yeah, giving the Mud Titan a wizard hat does seem pretty likely for Halloween. We want to make sure that you have options for performance, even if it comes at the cost of graphics, because either way, it's really difficult to obtain really good graphics while having performance. It's usually a trade-off, but compared to other games, we're not afraid to give you an option to make the game look pretty much awful as long as, you're able to play it, because that's just how it is sometimes. And people don't mind if the graphics look bad, they mind if they can play the game. So we want to prioritize you being able to play the game over the game always looking good. At the moment, we do not have any plans for a snow boss, but I imagine there might be a snow boss, or snow themed boss sometime in the future. We'll have to see. Seasons can be really difficult to set up if you don't have the right assets. So that's something that will have to probably come in the far future. It is true that it is much easier to optimize a stylized game if the stylization means that it's less detailed. But for this project specifically, we want you to feel like the world is very alive, and part of that is making sure that these creatures appear as real as they can be within their world. And, that means a lot of detail. Even if you don't have seasons, though, it doesn't rule out the possibility of having snowy weather in the game. I love how the things on the side of the mud puppies that we referenced on the side of their heads were kind of turned into horns. Oh yeah, you can definitely be immersed in stylized graphics, but it really depends on, the style you want to aim for your world and the type of immersion you want to aim for. It sounds like a really great idea, Ember. It's very creative. I'd love to see that in future concept art or even in game. We would like to have plants that grow or glow. So having things that glow in the water doesn't seem very far fetched. An avatar-like world wouldn't be too different compared to what we're aiming for. Yeah, having PvE aspects is pretty important, and that's something we want to focus on more over time, so that players do have things to do outside of interacting with other players. Ember would likely also be working on playable concept art, but I don't believe we have any plan just yet. Yeah, we're going to be working on other Titan concepts after the Mud Titan, and just expanding the visuals for the world so that we can communicate it properly and also have something to reference when we get original assets and such like that. Besides that, Ember will also be working on a Kilobator's skin or new skins later on. A gallery for official arts and concepts would probably belong in the museum. I imagine we could fit that in somewhere in there. Don't worry, no playables will be dying in the illustration for the Mud Titan. For the illustration, we just want to have the Mud Titan in a large mud pool in an area of the map that's concepted. And we want to have a bunch of different species around it, just kind of, I guess, coexisting with the Titan. So you can see those two different worlds kind of mixing together. So you'll see some species that, may be curious of the Mud Titan. We do not have any mud crabs planned. We do have a crab inspired Titan for, the aquatic areas, but Sorry, I'm checking the Q&A now. Sorry if I missed some of your questions. I'll be answering them now. Will there be in-game secrets that can be unlocked through certain actions? That's kind of to be determined, but that's definitely something that would spice up the whole adventure or adventurous side of the game, where you would want to explore different parts of the map and try and unlock secrets. And will players be able to see pieces, parts of rooms with parts of machine on the map? Um, that's more lore related, but I imagine so if you're entering a facility. And what are Titans? How long were they present on the planet? I'm asking just to check if Mud Titan is actually an old man. Um, I can't really give you a timeline on how long they were present. And as for what the Titans are, they're pretty much living points of interest on the map. So they're characters that can't be killed by players, and they exist as pretty much just a living part of the world that you can pretty much interact with. Unfortunately, you cannot ride the Mud Titan, and I don't think it would let you. Yeah, pretty much though. That's pretty much what Titans are. They literally serve as points of interest that can interact with you. So you're familiar with what points of interest are on the map, but now you can actually have that, but as something that's actually alive, and you know it can't be killed as it's a part of the world. But if you try to kill it, at least for the Mud Titan, uh, it might just try to kill you. Oh, there's a different Titan planned that will prevent you from leaving the map later on. Very special Titan. In the future, how will achievements work? A few luck-based ones may be fine, but obviously you wouldn't want too many. We want achievements to be based on challenges mainly. So actually accomplishing something, because that's what achievements are supposed to be, rather than luck. When it comes to luck-based ones, that's mainly to do with like you finding something. The Titan that's preventing you from leaving the map is also going to be likely the same Titan that you'll find outside of the water as well at certain points. It's not waterbound, to say the least. So yeah, you'll likely hear it. It's planned to have patrols around the island occasionally. Well, not probably not occasionally, more like rarely. So will this game have more than playable dinos? Like will it be mammals or other types of creatures? We do have different sorts of rosters planned for the long term outside of the Mesozoic roster, and we do plan on introducing some secret speculative evolution creatures as well. As for very large sauropods in the game, they're more likely to be bosses. And who knows, maybe they'll be AI at some point, but large sauropods present a large range of issues. I can't say very much about cosmetic scars, but ideally we want scars to be something that you get from combat instead of just a cosmetic. We would want scars to actually show that your creature has lived for a long time and it's also been through a lot, rather than just something that you can equip on your creature as soon as you pretty much spawn. I think there are much worse things than Zeus in this game. Visual effects for your tail or jaw being broken will probably be less related to VFX. I'm not too sure. I mean, you'd be able to see it as the model will be affected. Because obviously, like a broken tail would be pretty crooked. And if your jaw is broken, well, it won't exactly be in place. But this is a lot of work, later on that we have yet to approach yet. So it may not be on release when we release Fractures. Because we pretty much already have the framework there for Fractures. Welcome, V-Raptor. Good to see you, man. I think seeing a max size Elder Rex in general demands respect. It would be pretty tragic to see a Titan die after players become attached to them in the world. But who knows? Could be a possibility. I will say if any of our Titans do end up dying, they wouldn't die anytime soon, and they wouldn't die so easily. Especially considering the amount of work that gets put into these characters. Titans may have names, but right now they don't have any official names just yet. Or at least not. We have some like ideas, but they're not just yet official. We'll probably just let the community give them nicknames. Permanent injuries is definitely a risky thing to add to a game because it can be very detrimental to a player's experience and, you know, meaning it detriments their capability to have fun in the game. But it being a thing in hardcore mode, I mean, it's possible, but it's not something that we're really considering. I feel like these ideas sound good on the surface, but then when they're actually executed in the game and you're a victim to those repercussions or consequences, then you quickly realize that when you're not having fun, you are either going to end up dead and probably not in a way that feels fair, or you're going to want to kill off your creature just to try and regrow it so that you don't have to deal with, you know, the debuffs that your creature has if they're permanent. There's a lore explanation behind why your creatures grow so fast in the game as well. Stuff like that. I mean, that would also explain why your creatures don't have permanent injuries. The reason is pretty obvious, or yeah, the lore reason is pretty obvious. If you've seen our videos, though, you could probably take a good guess. Technically, our lore kind of allows for anything to be possible, though, so it's very easy to explain a lot of things. But it's really cool to be able to explain it in the first place. Yeah, the very large hands and the claws are a reminder that this thing will not tolerate you. At least if you're bothering it. Imagine that though. Imagine it is the Mud Titan that creates new riverways on the map. Rest well, Bloris. It was nice having you, man. I hope to catch you later. It's a lot easier to talk to people compared to talking to myself when making a video. See you, Quirt. It was great having you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Of course, I'm glad I could answer your questions. I mean, to be fair, Dodo, there are ways to, I'm pretty sure there's ways to obtain art programs. I forget to speak English sometimes, even though it's the only language I know. I gotta get used to talking more. You moved to 3D models. Oh yeah, that's a pretty big jump. You know what? I wish I knew how to read you a bedtime story. Just the lurking dude. Well, yeah, I do talk to the team, but it being great is subjective. I'm sure everybody can do better with communication. I'm always trying to do better, though. I speak significantly better when I'm texting or messaging compared to speaking. I feel like my brain kind of is just slow when it comes to talking. I gotta train it better. I don't want to like trip over my words, so I kind of pause a lot, and sometimes I stutter or like I mix up my words, stuff like that. I probably overthink what I'm gonna say. I think it comes with comfort, though. I feel like when you're really comfortable with talking to somebody, it doesn't really happen as much. But I'm not used to speaking on stream and whatnot. But I'm sure I'll get better at it. I mean, everybody's slow in different ways, including myself. It's natural. I feel like my current situation, I couldn't even become one of those content creators who yells and screams even if I wanted to. But yeah, I do have a pretty monotone voice, so the slower and calmer style is what you get, and it works. At least so it seems. Yeah, I do not have the energy to speak like that. But I mean, some people like that stuff, and who knows, maybe the majority of people do. And so, if that is the case, then it's unfortunate. But I'm glad to still have people that enjoy the slower and calmer, just laid back type of content. I keep being told that I have like a good voice to fall asleep to and whatnot. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's nice to know. The Mud Titan looks like it'd be pretty suitable for a swampy area as well, which, I mean, you could probably expect to find it there too. Who knows? There is a lot of mud and swamps, so could just rename it to the Swamp Titan. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It just needs to serve its purpose. More of a desert environment for this? I don't know, it doesn't look very arid. That is very true. Anywhere that has mud, it can be. It's definitely resilient enough to travel anywhere on the map, though, which you can expect it to be doing. It doesn't like to stay in one mud pool for too long. If any of you aren't in the Discord already, I would heavily suggest that you check out our Discord because we post a lot more updates there. It's a lot easier to stay in the loop over there. And it's much more active too. I'm pretty sure our links are valid. Now we have our own custom link, and our server boosts ensure that it's always working. So big props to our server boosters. We use the same link everywhere, but because of that, all we gotta do is maintain that one link. Yeah, we have discord.gg / Primeval Horizon. That is our link. And you can always search up primevalhorizon.com and it'll redirect you to the Discord as well. It really is. The design has grown on me a lot, and I'm very happy with it. It's very unique. It's definitely got a recognizable silhouette. You will definitely not mistake it for anything else. Well, I'm sure once we have a model for it and we add it to the game, you'll be able to get up close and personal and get as close as you can be to petting it. Just make sure you don't attack it. Picking off parasites from it is actually a pretty good idea, but we'll have to see. I definitely like the idea because it gives you more reason to hang around it. But again, we'll have to see. I feel like it doesn't have to worry very much about parasites in the first place because it's already kind of living in the mud. I do know we're gonna need some really big mud pools though for this guy. Well, the plan is that it leaves mud trails that you can wallow in. So it wouldn't be really nourishing the ground, but we do have a forest titan that increases the spawn rate of plants around it. If you guys haven't already, make sure you leave a like on the stream. I imagine it'll help our stream get out there. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated, because I don't do that enough. I'm afraid that you guys will not be getting Fortnite-like dance emotes in the game. Courtship dances we're open to for sure. I know having a courtship mini game where you're dancing is kind of one of our plans, but again, there's so many ideas for this game that it's going to take quite a bit of time to get everything in here. But at least you'll be a part of the journey as the project comes together. And I assume you'll never get bored.
Lizard.
That's not supposed to loop. What'd I miss?
Lizard.
Lizard. What do you mean you're not acting your age? There's nothing that says that you cannot enjoy Lizard. I don't know, what is that? Sleep well, man. It was nice having you. Ooh, music from James Cameron's Avatar. I don't think I've even listened to that soundtrack on its own before. I wonder if the next movie is going to be any good. I think Avatar has amazing visuals, but outside of that, I don't think it's particularly impressive in any other area, in my opinion. But I think that's kind of been the point of Avatar, is just to look really pretty. Or at least I think that's why people watch it. Yeah, that's fair. You know, the sad part about CGI is if you do it super well, then you don't notice it unless it's something that's blatantly sci-fi. Will you be able to name your playables like in Pallet Titans? Yeah, we pretty much already have it set up where you can name your character. The character screen is actually a lot like Pallet Titans, but it's super early. We definitely need to polish it a lot more and change it up. I will be right back though. All right, I am back. Got some cereal. Um, it's off-brand, so I honestly don't really know. It doesn't have many ingredients though, so that's kind of why I grabbed it. It's just kind of basic cereal that is sugary, I guess, or sweet. No, it's not wheat. I don't know how to describe it though. I didn't expect to have to remember the specific type of cereal it was. But yeah, it's not a popular brand. It's just off-brand. I'm trying to stay away from any cereal that has too many ingredients in it though. It's not healthy. And I don't eat very much sugar anyway, so I don't mind sugar. I don't mind cereal with sugar in it. If anything, I consume way too much sodium from how much chips I eat. I mean, you not being able to drink milk is kind of natural. I'm pretty sure, like, pretty much any creature, when they grow up, are supposed to digest milk properly anymore. You kind of lose your ability to digest milk when you mature. At least not digest it very well. I guess I'm lucky I'm not lactose tolerant, intolerant though. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to work on eating healthier once I can actually afford it and the game is actually in a much better position, you know, after it releases and everything. Because I'm built like a skeleton. I need to eat better. Yeah, I'm not even over exaggerating. I'm like 5'11", and I'm like probably around 115 pounds. Yeah, it's a struggle to eat 3 times a day or more. And if you're trying to gain weight, then you have to eat even more than 3 times a day. Which yeah, that just sounds almost impossible to me, unless I have like a lot more money to afford all that food. You know, also just like having the space for the amount of food you need as well. Yeah, it's a challenge. I think I have a fast metabolism though, which doesn't exactly help. See, surviving on ramen noodles isn't even gonna make much of a difference because it's not exactly nutritious. It's just a bunch of sodium. And I already eat enough sodium, so I don't need any more of that. I'll have ramen noodles here and there, but I try to like eat bananas, watermelon here and there, um, meat like steak, chicken, fish occasionally. Ocean perch is really good. Um, when we have beef stew, we got carrots and potatoes in there as well. I try to eat good, but being consistent about how often I eat is hard. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to have a slow metabolism to gain weight easier, because at least I'd be able to work out to, lose that weight. Whereas if I work out, it feels like I kind of have a limit because, I don't have much weight to lose, and you kind of need more mass if you want to build muscle, or at least like build sizable muscle. I'm really loving this design, by the way. Looks super clean, very detailed. definitely looks rugged. Like it's been through a lot, which is good. Yes, it is. It'll be wandering between the different mud pools on the map. So you'll find it traversing between them, or you'll find it resting in a mud pool. I mean, you're free to follow it. I wouldn't be surprised if players do, but just make sure you don't attack it, because I'm pretty sure you'll you'll definitely regret it. But yeah, it is definitely a Titan. It is larger than anything on the roster. It's like over 2 times the size of our Apexes. Sorry, I keep on rubbing my mic's cord against my zipper on my sweatshirt. A bottomless pit for a mouth? I mean, I don't know what that would really look like. It would just have a relatively normal looking mouth, at least for what it is. As you can imagine, it doesn't really need to eat very much, but if you do disturb it, at least you'd give it a quick snack. Well, I'm sure beyond a certain point in its mouth, all you'll see is darkness anyway. So, I suppose. I can't wait for these Titans to become pretty much living landmarks or points of interest, though, because you'll definitely not miss it when it's in sight. Yeah, there's plans for different landmarks from different realities. Or, yeah, landmarks or points of interest that aren't living. No, these titans are not meant to be fought. They're purely living landmarks. Also, lurking the central rock you're talking about is actually a tower. Ooh, are we moving on to color already? That'd be exciting. Hell yeah. Can't wait to see what you do with the color. I know this guy's probably going to be pretty brown, but still, it'll be really cool to see. Oh yeah, seeing the various shades of brown is going to be really nice. You need to have that variety. I've never heard of photo noise palettes. I know of photo bashing, but yeah, that's a new technique that I've heard. You want a size estimate? Give me a second, I'll go look. He'd be around like 2 to 2.5 Rexes tall. So from there, you can probably imagine the length. Very long. Yes, that tall. Again, Titan is not exaggerating. This is a really cool technique. I looked away for 1 second, it's already kind of seamless. Hey, welcome, Cubic. It's nice to have you. Well, you get to see the pretty much finalized design for the Mud Titan, and we're coloring it now. Well, at least that means we will have time for part 4. Either way, very exciting. Hey, what's up, AK? You know, it's gonna be really cool looking back at these streams like a few years from now. Unless like I'm dead somehow, but I'm talking about a scenario that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Sleep well, though. You have a good one. It was nice having you. Hopefully we see you next time. Look at this amalgamation. It's like Frankensteining the textures. Who do we have left in the chat? How long have you been here lurking? I think you've been here since almost the beginning. You're like number 2 XP wise. Good to see that you guys are still here, Cubic and Linus. We should be having our next Q&A video up here soon. Probably not today, but within the next couple days probably. And then after our Q&A video, we're gonna try and focus more on development clips and probably some devlogs. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do a roster video anytime soon. I thought we would, but I kind of realized how much work that would be, considering the amount of work that gets put into each playable. It's just a lot of detail, and it sounds very exhausting, covering like, I don't know, what is it, like around 23 playables? Yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait to answer the same question for the 50th time. I have a feeling some of you haven't left a like on this stream yet. Oh yeah, for sure, Sajman. We'll definitely have some showcase videos for when we release new playables. But that's when those playables are, fleshed out. So at a later date. Oh, I just realized there's 24 likes on the stream. This entire time it didn't update and it only showed 5. That's why I was so suspicious. It wasn't adding up. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, you gotta refresh YouTube to see the updated number. Yeah, imagine YouTube updating things in real time. Crazy concept. Yeah, Twitch sucks. I'm gonna be honest. Twitch is a dying platform. They are incredibly greedy and corrupt. Hey, welcome, Camilla. Good to see you here. Hey, welcome, Panda. It's pretty cool. I never thought that we'd have any of our videos played on a TV. I never thought about it. This coloring method is really cool. It's already coming together quite nice. I love the different shades. Oh, you're assuming it's restricted to one biome. We talked about it earlier, but the Mud Titan's going to be able to go wherever there's mud, regardless of the biome. We haven't really considered the Titans having a preference on where to stay, but if we did give them preferences, then I imagine the Mud Titan would be around swamps and forests the most. Oh, I recognize you. You're a level designer. Of course, I recognize you, dude. I've sat in VC with you as we worked together on the map for like a few days now. I think I'd be embarrassed if I didn't recognize you. How am I supposed to recognize you? Your name is K2-180X, whereas your Discord name is Lurking. Those two do not correlate at all. So true. You know what? That is my fault. I should have just known. Also, Sagman, it's already been said in the chat, but yeah, this thing's like 2 to 2.5 rexes tall. It can't give you like an exact unit because we just kind of threw it onto the size chart. We didn't really come up with a specific like height. Yeah, so even if you do attack this thing as a Rex, like, yeah, good luck. You are not an exception. Your Edmontosaurus, gone. Your your Shunosaurus, gone. It don't matter what you play. If you attack this thing, you will cease to exist. You will be drowned and then you will be food. You don't kill it, that's the thing. It can't be killed. Just don't attack it and you'll be fine. You can literally just coexist with it. No, it's not here just for design purposes. It's a living landmark and also a living point of interest. Yeah, that 20-man group are probably all gonna die, and I don't know when they'll realize that they literally can't kill it. There's no way you've never heard the word coexist. No, it's not killable. There's only going to be one Titan. That's a Mud Titan. These are characters bound to the world. We don't want to just have you guys kill it off because if it dies, it's dead. It's not coming back. No, Titans don't respawn. If they die, they're dead forever. These are unique characters. Like, they represent one personality. There's only one. One for each type, that is. That is true, Sagman, but people will learn. I just hope that they start running as soon as they see that the Titan begins to react after they decide to attack it. Because the Titan's not going to chase after you. But if you stay, then yeah, you're I'm pretty sure you're dead. You can admire the looks of the Titan and move on if you want, but I mean, you would pretty much be around it for the same reason you'd be around a mud pool. It's pretty much a moving mud pool because it leaves behind trails of mud. No, the Titans don't have a health pool at all. You can't kill them. You can interact with them and they can react to you, unless it's like the I think it's the rock Titan or whatever. I forgot its name, but we have like a Titan that looks like a rock. Uh but it doesn't react because it literally you can't even damage it. It'll just ignore you. It wouldn't be difficult to render a singular large creature. It depends on how high the textures are for the creature. Like the resolution of the textures, that is. As long as you're not like going overkill with the resources that it requires, then it's fine. Yeah, the Titans are just living parts of the world, and they add to making the world, feel more alive and more interesting and just unique. Right now, we don't plan for the Titans to really interact with each other, but that could change in the future. Um, when it comes to players, for the most part, they don't really bother with them unless the players are actually trying to bother the Titan, because again, like players are pretty damn small in comparison, so the Titans don't really bother. Someone earlier mentioned the Mud Titan having parasites that you can, eat off of off of it. But for the Mud Titan, it's not planned since I'm pretty sure anything that lives in mud isn't really going to get parasites. But outside of that, there might be other Titans that might have parasites. It's a good idea, but currently not planned. The Titans mainly interact with the environment, so you want to be around them for, you know, the type of environmental benefits they offer. Well, if the parasites themselves are players, then I'm pretty sure the Titan can take care of that itself. Not infinite food source is way too abusable for a survival game. Yeah, I could have been wrong about. I mean, parasites may be in mud, but as far as I know, anything that like wallows in mud doesn't seem to get parasites from it. That's just what I know. I'm sure we can add more ways in the future for you to interact with Titans, but either way, it's still nice to have Titans as a living point of interest, because even if you're not going to take advantage of the advantages they provide, then being able to just kind of look at them is good enough for most players. Honestly, I feel like the mud, or not the mud, the forest titan might act almost like a living migration zone. But yeah, again, these are concepts. There's tons of stuff that's subject to change, and we're always open to improving the way these things uh, interact with the environment and with the players and whatnot. Sagman, I don't think you would even have to worry about leading a mega pack to the Titan in the first place because the Revenant would be taking care of that. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of players will forget that the Revenant's in the game until it appears. Yeah, the Revenant's meant to be summoned under conditions where there's um, a large amount of mix packers or a mega pack. I don't see players winning against Revenant unless they have like multiple apexes with them, and even then, it's not going to stay dead anyway. The Revenant's already undead, so and anything that it kills, it's just gonna use as like a sort of minion. So you get to see your buddies die in front of you if you mix pack and be used against you. Or if you mega pack. The Revenant goes back into the ground though when it loses interest. Or just like has no reason to, be around anymore. Yeah, there's concept art for the Revenant. It's not the most fleshed out, but it exists for the design. It's like it's like half mechanical. It looks like a very big Allosaurus. The Revenant and the Wraith are two different things. But as long as you're aware of the Revenant, I assure you that you will actively try and avoid mix packs and mega packs. And I wouldn't suggest trying to also summon a revenant to try and abuse it and use it against another player by having a bunch of small players get together around a larger player, because the revenant will target smaller players first. The Wraith is a small tier boss. It's pretty much a mega raptor that can tear through reality to like pretty much go invisible, but it can only do it for short periods of time. It is yes, again, it's a small tier boss. Will there be an AI called the irrelevant? I don't think so, unfortunately. Isn't I don't know, I might get their name wrong with the how it's pronounced, but it's Hideo Kojima, the dude that creates Death Stranding. Ah, yeah. Isn't he like known for creating weird stuff? I mean, we create cool stuff over here, though. But I respect what he does. He creates some really great shit. That is true. Oh, of course. I'm taking it as a compliment. I appreciate it. Again, like, there's nothing wrong with Kojima. The spines or whatever on like the midsection of the back almost give Godzilla vibes a little bit. Got that very spiky maple leaf shape. I think that's what it's called, at least. You guys really want to name the Mud Titan Terry? I don't know if that's a fitting name, but if that's what you want to call it. You know what else, Lizo? I don't have a bong, but I do take edibles sometimes, so not entirely inaccurate. I don't think my ideas come from that though. I just kind of put together everything that I really enjoy um, into the game pretty much. Makes it fun. Because I enjoy sci-fi, fantasy, horror, creature flicks. Obviously that includes dinosaurs, um, space, aliens, all that stuff. And you'll see aspects of that in the game. Speaking of, there's a new episode of Alien Earth tonight. I cannot wait to check that out. Even though I'll probably be asleep by then. It's a show, yeah. So you get to watch like multiple movies by watching it. It's very good in my opinion. It explores a lot of new stuff. Well, you see, your headcanon is almost right. It's more like Sorfagnex became invalid, and in doing so, it died and came back to life as the Revenant. And so you now have Undead Revenant. So in a way, I guess Sorfagnex lives on somewhat. Yeah, it's actually a Saurfagnax. Well, it's more like Allosaurus now because Saurfagnax is invalid, but same thing. Why do you think it looks so much like a Saurfagnax? It was done on purpose. Oh, I'm about to choke on my cereal. Oh, you haven't seen the concept art yet? Join our Discord. Are you in our Discord? If you go to our Discord, go to the information section and go to gallery, you should be able to find it in concept art. Yeah, it's on the Discord. Actually, I think it's on our Steam page as well. Hold up. I'm pretty sure it's on our Steam page too. Okay, never mind. It got replaced on our Steam page. I think it appears in your library in some places though. But you would have to have it in your library. Yeah, it's still on the library. Sounds good, Ember. You've been doing a fantastic job. It was really nice to have this or just like see the entire process and also just be here and interact with everybody. I think this is your longest stream so far. 3 hours. Over 3 hours. Thank you. I'm glad that was the goal. And honestly, I didn't even expect to uh be here the entire time, but I've been enjoying myself. Yeah, give your hands a break. I don't want you to get arthritis or whatever. And get some sleep, AK. You need it. I think it's gonna be my bedtime in a few hours as well. Sleep well, AK. It was nice having you here. A huge metal dude with a gun coming out of his head. I don't remember that part. As for the tripods, that is a little bit outdated. Again, those are like older concepts, but it's not very lore heavy for the tripods. Let me see what you're talking about with the guns. Oh, that's another one of the well, it's not really a tripod, but that's a machine. It's not really a dude. It's supposed to be a variant of the tripod though. Yeah, fair point. I just didn't think of those things being referred to as dudes. But yeah, you can see what the Revenant looks like now, and as you can see, it is indeed a Sorfagnax. There's definitely a much grander vision outside of the dinosaurs and the roster that we have here. Hell yeah, AK, it'll be really cool to have you stream sometime. Have a good night, dude. A little bit too early to say whether or not you would get mauled by the Revenant. Yeah, the dude with the skeletal like face markings is the Wraith, yeah. The Revenant should be like just above the Wraith. Let me go look. Yeah, it's only 2 posts above the Revenant boss design concept. It's above the Cryodraken design concept. All of our concept art in there currently were made by different artists. But moving forward, I can imagine the majority of our concept art and whatnot would be created by Ember. It'll be really cool to see what Ember can do with our creature designs for our roster and also our bosses. Let's go. We got the wizard hat. Here, let me take a screenshot. All right, I got my screenshot. Thank you. It was nice being here, Ember. Thank you for streaming. I very much enjoyed being here. I will catch you all Thursday, it seems. Thank you all for joining. And you all have a good one, including you, Ember. Thank you all so much.